All right, man. Season 6, episode 21. We got a special guest.
Part D.
Big shout out to DJ Iman in the building, in the studio.
Yeah.
And we appreciate his patience because
what's up?
It was one of those nights, man. Trying to start conversation.
Y'all want extra innings at Victory Field.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
Had to sell more hot dogs.
Damn.
Indeed.
Free bat night.
For sure. Round of applause, man, for DJ Iman in the building with us, man. We appreciate you for coming here. Fayetteville's finest, too. This is a Fayetteville brother.
Not a lot of those.
For sure.
Shout out J. Cole.
Cold World.
He told me he was from Fayetteville, and I was like, damn, for real?
For everybody.
Yeah, Dreamville.
I wanted to pull up.
Everybody from
Dreamville in the building.
Yeah, the Ville is back. The real is back.
Over there here.
Peel this back.
Take this. Hungry.
For sure, man. Where can everybody find you, man?
Man, you can find me on Instagram or really anything at Iman_Tucker. I try to keep my handle the same just so I'm not explaining it 15 different times, 15 different ways.
Indeed, man. So
Iman Tucker too, because somebody got the name. That sucks. Shit like that sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Smooth.
Make sure you follow Iman, DJ Iman. Man, make sure you do that. All right, we always start off each interview with the pregame podcast pop quiz. We're going to ask you a flurry of questions. You do your best to answer. Let's get to it, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so as a DJ, what is a genre of music you wish more people paid attention to?
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a really good question to start with. That's a good one. I wish in the Midwest people paid attention to things that aren't just U.S. based, because there's Mediterranean music, there's Middle Eastern music, there's North African music, which is very different than even West African music. And it's dope.
You got a deep bag, I see. You got.
He got to be able to spread his wings, but y'all be in the Midwest. Ask for Boosie over and over again, and he can't do that.
Shout out to Boosie.
That's real.
I heard he shut the limelight down.
Cuffed.
Play
some badass.
My question is like a DJ question too. So you got a crowd, you turning it up. What is your 1-2 punch like? I hit you once, you swaying. This the knockout. Bam.
What's your jab straight?
We really turned it up now.
Can I ask a question in return? Where am I at?
I'm about to say what city.
What city? Okay, you in Nap. We gotta say we in Nap.
Yeah, you in that town.
Well, I think there's two different Indianapolis experiences.
There is. That's true. There might be 3 or 4 if we keep it a buck.
And actually, I was about to say there's even another one because I did an Indian wedding the other day.
Ooh.
And, you know that Punjabi MC song, Beware the Boys, where Jay-Z was featured on it?
Sure.
Well, y'all got to go back and listen to that one because I played that one. And it shut the whole place
went
down.
crazy with dreams and nightmares in there.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy.
That's as politically correct as I can get. I'm just do a
for sure.
dance.
Don't do anything more than that.
I ain't gonna mess his bag up.
Yeah.
That's a good question, right?
It is, man. They coming out firing, man.
I got a pretty easy. As a DJ, I assume that one of the big goals is to get on tour. Who's the person you would like to go on tour? If you could be like
tour DJ.
Yeah, if you're a tour DJ, who would you tour DJ for?
Well, I think because of my faith background and my gospel background, that genre is a little underrepresented in terms of dope MCs. They're there, but they just don't have the support. And so that's actually been a goal of mine in the past 6 months, is to, when I'm playing at games, Pacers, Fever, whatever, like how can I run those records? Guys like KB, guys like Aaron Cole, even people like Torrin Wells, who's more on the singing side of things. And so I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but those have definitely been conversations about being on tour with some of those guys.
Oh, that's major, man. Round of applause for that. That's crazy.
Yeah, on the way.
For sure. The bag is expanding. Bigger bags.
Godly.
Indeed. Faith-based.
Yeah, tithes.
For sure. And offerings.
Yeah.
Get me right.
All right, man. I guess for me, I know you're in the streetwear. Peep the Instagram. You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite streetwear brand of all time and why?
Am I allowed to say my own?
Absolutely.
Go crazy.
I mean, I just feel like our bodies, and even this computer I'm looking at and like all the stuff, like there's so many opportunities for us to brand not just ourselves, but what we believe in. And so when we came up with the idea of Believe Brand, I got fed up of wearing Nike, knowing that they're going to make money off of people like us, but are they really going to speak in behalf of us also in a way that represents us? Not to get too deep on the warm-up questions, but
I haven't gotten there yet with Nike, man.
Oh, I still wear it. I had it on. I had it on when I came in here, but it's like, how much of it are we gonna wear? Is it gonna be everything? Are we gonna be like, I only wear Nike with Nike, and we're gonna put too much energy in it, or are we gonna focus on doing something that represents our city, what we believe in, who we are, what we're really passionate about? So I would say my own if I could.
Nah, go crazy.
Yeah, that's real. As you should.
I can't front. I'm boozy. Shoulders, pants, shoes. When it comes to Nike, I want it all. But I'm not. I would like to get there, but it's just like
He's wiped me down.
Nike me down.
quickly. So that's. But I like that though because you want to. Can you move away from it? It's hard. I might just wear shoes. Everything else, I'm a branch out and do something else.
You start to question yourself, like, do I only like this because it's Nike? Like, if that was a 3-stripe, would that be fire to
If
me?
it was
No, it would
Reebok,
not.
if it was Asics, would I wear this?
I try to get my Nike and my
no.
black owned stuff together.
Put 'em together.
Most days.
Did y'all ever see that most recent interview with Soulja Boy on the Breakfast Club?
Probably. Not talking about the
The
Drake
latest one?
Like the most recent one,
Probably not.
like right before everything went down with like Young Dolph and everything.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah,
I watch
yeah.
a lot of Soulja Boy content. He's hilarious.
He's so funny.
That's my
But
dog.
He's so smart.
He's
too.
a legend.
And Charlemagne was like, "Tell him about the sneaker news." He's like, "I signed a deal." He's like, "With who?" He's like, "Myself." And he ended up coming out with his own shoe, but like in that moment it like inspired me, and it even reminded me of like a guy on that level who's literally changed the world of hip hop has to go out on his own and make his own shoe because people are saying no to him. Like, why is it any different for us here in Nap doing our thing on a smaller scale?
Because it's almost more possible here.
I believe it. I believe that.
For sure. Shout out to Believe Brand. Where can everybody copy, man?
BelieveBrandCO.com. So BelieveBrandCompany.com. We try to make everything we do as simple and tasteful as possible.
For sure. I see you got the shirt on right there with Believe around the collar. That's
and
fire.
I brought something for y'all today as well. So
I
we like
appreciate
gifts.
it.
Everybody, donations.
Ask your question.
Gifts.
Go ahead and ask a question, Reed.
You got any big sizes over there?
I do. I got 2X. Would that work?
Nope. It's okay though.
Try it on.
That's my fault, not yours.
Yeah.
That's you can't just be walking around with 3 and 4X shirts. That's not normal.
Yeah, he's
They
not.
cost more. I know.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'll get you one just because we're here today. And I knew I wanted to send everybody home with something.
Big dogs got to eat. Y'all
Yeah.
so
Big dogs definitely gotta eat.
Big believer.
Believe.
Yeah. Big B's.
Big dogs
I
got to
can
eat.
say patience and virtue here. How you got extra next space?
Yeah, big dogs got to eat too.
Yeah, Believe gonna be stressed out.
Yeah, believing.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Definitely Brian Collar.
No road across with DJ
When you
Iman.
believe.
You're right.
And here tonight, man. I want to get into it. So, why did you become a DJ? When did you become passionate about music?
So I've always been passionate about music, and I think a lot of people are like at the end of the day, or I guess I should say the beginning of the day, but somehow as we have to pay bills, we have to grow up and do all these things, we kind of forget about the things we really love. And actually, my homie over here, Sam.
Shout out to Sam.
This dude,
Shout out to Sam.
we went to
What's good, Sam?
Indy together, and he was like the king of the parties. He had like photographers there, like DJs there, hundreds of people at the time
Connected,
there.
plugged in.
He was plugged in, and so he actually gave me my first opportunity. He's like, "Why don't you come spin it this house party for me?" Because when I partied, I didn't like to drink, I didn't like to smoke. I was the dude that was on the wall, like the designated driver. But I'm also have like an entrepreneurial mind, so I have a hard time just being places and having no use, like no utility. So all right, I'll go. Like kind of like Q said earlier, he's like, yeah, I was always the aux guy. But then as curiosity goes, you start small. I had a phone, then I had a DJ app on my phone, and then a smaller controller, bigger, and then turntables, and now here we are 7 years later, still doing it.
Now,
That's
not
crazy,
to interrupt,
man.
I looked over my shoulder and Sam has a notepad and a pen. He's writing things down. What
It's
you
some
writing down?
information over there.
Fuck, I'm being interrogated.
So we've talked about having podcasts before. Like we talked about. Like,
Oh,
Okay.
Like,
take notes then, Sam.
yes. Like I'm trying to learn from you guys. Like the first note I wrote was like it's an all black room, and I was like, is that because of the lighting? Right.
I just wanted to piss my wife off.
Oh, no.
But no, honestly, we did think it created a better backdrop.
Yeah.
But like you guys said earlier, y'all been doing this since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys know something. And you guys probably know something that we don't. So this is an opportunity for us to learn.
Hey, I appreciate
Shout out to
that.
Sam.
Yo,
Shout out to Sam.
Captain Furious, his notepad is ridiculously
Yeah,
good.
it's
hell of a
super
notepad.
nice, man.
That was actually a gift.
That's really nice.
Can I shout this dude out real quick?
Absolutely.
So this is my road dog. I take him everywhere because he is one of the, when we talk about utility, this dude, like, I don't have to say nothing. He just makes sure it's taken care of.
Okay.
Every
That is
time.
important.
Like, he'll learn something from the top to bottom. One of the smartest people I've ever met. So I'm really thankful for this
Shout to
dude.
Sam.
'Cause
So, man,
I
shout out
wouldn't
to
be
Sam,
here
man.
if it weren't for this
It's
dude.
a hell of a notepad. Looks
Yeah,
like a
it's-
notepad like angels carry around.
Indeed.
It's the book of life.
Important
over there.
stuff is in there.
Yeah, that's a big
It's the
homie
book
for
of
sure.
Eli.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the book angels carry around when they watching you.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at him doing it again.
I cannot believe it. Whole joke.
Oh, another sip.
I thought he learned his lessons,
fix
but
Your wife's on the way, bro. Just wait.
You following her, really?
There he is again.
Wow.
Double tapping again. Look at you.
Just go to bed, bro. Just go to bed.
she didn't respond the first 4 times. Why send it again?
You're already tired.
Oh, man. Shout out to Sam. Crazy, man. Okay. So, you are clearly making waves. You DJ for the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? You DJ for the Colts.
DJ's Indian weddings.
You're going crazy. What is different?
Now, everybody doesn't get that phone call. I'm
No,
not trying to be
it's
funny.
real, man. We're not. No,
An
this
Indian
is
wedding
real.
is not something that just you stumble upon. You have to be in networks.
Yeah, I know,
to
and
get
I've
that
known
phone
DJ
call.
for years that have not been able to tap into, the professional sports scene here in the city. What are you doing to move differently, to get some of these partnerships?
Yeah, I actually love this question because I think it's a good opportunity for, I just think professionals or creatives in general to learn. Is one of the things I had to learn really quick in my life was that the work I do isn't really about me. And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs know that when they create a product. They create something that's going to solve a problem or connect with somebody outside of themselves. And so if it were me, I'd be probably playing Christian hip hop and trap music all day long. But like if you think about, you go to a Pacer game, you're not just seeing one demographic. You're seeing different ages, different ethnicities, different religions, everything all in one space. And so you really have to take time and understand who your clients are. And that was something that was just a non-negotiable from the beginning. So I even had to get in my country bag and start listening to the country music, old rock and roll.
Storytellers. Country music is storytelling.
Storytelling, yeah.
They be on it.
And find a way to merge cultures together in a way that you're not going to hear this ever again unless this specific DJ is in the house tonight.
Got you. So that ability to diversify led to even more opportunities.
Absolutely.
And so you would encourage anybody in the DJ space and scene to understand that and, make that happen.
For sure. And not even just in DJing, just in whatever you do, like understand your niche. So if you want to get into professional sports, you got to understand it's deeper than what you might hear in the club. It's deeper than what you might hear on the radio.
Yeah, I do some at the games. Got to.
You got to. I don't listen to
There's
it.
kids there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids
there's
really
kids
push all that. I mean,
And you do have a little bit of an EDM bag compared to most DJs, man. And that's something you've kind of had to perfect over time.
Yeah. I mean, the way I saw it is the DJs that look like me, sound like me, talk like me, and even perform like me over and over again, I felt like they were getting so short, even though they're technically like on the turntable, some of the dopest in the planet. And I'm like, well, what's the difference? And then I found out all these drum and bass, EDM, house DJs, those seem to be the people that get the chance to go on these international tours and do all this stuff. And so if I'm having a mindset I had in the beginning of like, this DJing isn't about me, then I need to learn what this dude's doing and do it better than him, because I can throw some trap in it too and some hip hop in it too.
That's crazy. And if you go to the Instagram page, he definitely plays the EDM, man. It's shout out to you for learning it. I really struggle with EDM. It is tough for me.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were out in DR, my wife and her best friend, we had to go to an EDM concert festival. Man.
Yeah.
had to be a real
It's
husband
different.
that day, didn't
What's funny about it though, we all have a favorite EDM song, but none of us can name it.
right.
That's a big piece too. It's like
Yeah.
a song like Sandstorm. If I played it right now, y'all be like, "Oh, I know that song."
Yep.
But no one would ever name it.
Gun
So
to my head, I'm dead.
literally, so I'll be out in public and I hear something that's familiar. I'm Shazamming it every single time.
As you got
That's
smart.
crazy.
Every time.
Don't let
That's
somebody
smart.
see you do it. Just
And literally,
I'm Shazam crazy. I knew where I heard. Hey, Shazam is powerful tool.
When Q played that J. Cole song in here, I couldn't remember the name of it. I even jammed it in here just now.
Right in front of y'all face. Right here.
See, you're not supposed to let nobody see
Always
it.
working.
Can't let nobody see it.
Yeah.
And like your style, and I don't like going out these days. I'm looking for like a specific thing, and I lean definitely more towards like the super hip hop, like Ratchet or whatever. But there are some places like where you like, if Bartini was around, you would probably shut Bartini's down. Like it'd be, because one, you're talented and you know what you need to play for like a mixed bag of people. Like I don't know the spot for that in 2022. I know that in 2011, 2012, when I was going out to Bartini's, you would go crazy in there.
I appreciate that.
Is there anywhere in the city you kind of play on a regular? Outside of the Pacers?
So honestly, like what we've been trying to work on is taking Nap outside of the city, because we love it here. You know, shout out to guys like Strick, Draft Pick, Metronome, Top Speed, all those guys. Those are my brothers. I love them to death. And they shut it down here in the city. But I think there's something special about Indianapolis that other places need to experience. And so our mindset is how do we get into those places?
Got you.
Yeah.
You keep on saying hour. What's the team like these days, man? How are you moving?
My team, like I owe everything to them, because if I'm doing this on my own, I'm just a DJ.
Got you.
But if I have people like Sam, people like my homie Trayvon, PJ, Garrett, Isaac, and just everybody that's supported me, they kind of like, y'all said y'all been doing this for like 6 years now. Y'all all show up in the same place every Monday, and y'all have
around
vision.
about the same time sometimes.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, it like we're trying to do what y'all do. Like we try to be like y'all.
No, my brother. I'm trying to be like you.
Yeah, we are. I don't want to say too much.
I'm not shining the same way you shine. For anybody watching the YouTube.
He pulled up in something nice too.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh,
It's nice out there.
oh, it's nice out there, real nice."
I didn't, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Elon. Indeed. Shout out to Twitter. So yeah, man. I also want to kind of talk about your faith. You know, that tends to be a focal point for you throughout your career, throughout your journey. I want to talk about, when did you just, when, was that something you just kind of learned via childhood? Is that something you kind of became tapped into as you became more so an adult? And how does it play a role in your life now?
Yeah, so I mentioned that born in Fayetteville, but I was actually, I think, a good way to say it, raised in a rural all-white space, which some people are like, oh, I could tell. But then other people are like, I would have never thought she was from the hood, but I would have never thought she was from the country either. Like,
right, I don't completely get that vibe from you.
And I was raised in a Southern Baptist church, and I think when you that age, you associate God with the youth group you're with.
Yeah.
And I mean, I thought at that point in my life that people that weren't like me were corny. And so it really wasn't until I started to become a man that I even considered it. But then once I learned about the lineage of Iman, it's a North African name that means believe, or to have faith in something bigger than yourself, essentially being God. That's when it really became something that I internalized. And so that's where the brand came from. That's where the faith and stepping out and trying all these entrepreneur endeavors, that's where it all came from.
So
That's beautiful,
what is it
man.
like moving? Like, everybody doesn't have the same beliefs as you. Everybody doesn't move the same way. Is it difficult to move around, and with people who don't believe like you do?
Well, I really don't have an expectation to them for it, because I could never explain to them in a way that makes sense why I think the way I do. But what I can do is I can love them well. I can serve them. I can give to them. I can be what they need. And if they see that and they think, I want to know what fuels him or where that comes from, then I have an opportunity to share. But I'm not just in the club on a microphone saying, I'll see y'all Sunday morning at the pulpit. That's just not me.
Still got Mark Jackson fired.
That's exactly what got Mark Jackson fired.
I mean,
After practice, expect y'all.
They had to put him
Bible study, boys.
Yeah, for sure.
If y'all can't be there, then y'all can't play tomorrow.
I can see Clay's face now.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Clay Thompson can believe his ears.
Yeah. Turn that off.
Draymond doing that.
Yeah, that was chicken nugget Draymond too.
Yeah.
Right before he got cut off.
That's crazy, man.
Man.
That's crazy, and it seems like a lot of, not all of them clearly, but a lot of your business. Where I see you on Instagram, you rocking out of church, or you just had your name illuminated on the a sign outside of a church, and so what does that mean for you, man?
I try to just take myself out of it. And when I see DJ Iman on a billboard, I think about the group that was sitting in Hotel Carmichael a few days before New Year's that helped me make the goal to get my name on a billboard. Because for me, it's not really about the experience. And I tell people all the time, even when I perform for these crowds, I kind of forget what's happening. And I'm like, I'm really introverted at heart. So 30 minutes into a set, I'm ready to dip. But I just think about all the people that have supported it and either showed up or showed love in any way, even a comment on Instagram. And I'm thinking like, thank you guys so much every time I see my name somewhere.
That's real. Are you, I'm going to ask this question. Let's go ahead and do it. Do you ever limit yourself outside of certain different experiences and events? You kind of like, oh, I cannot do that. I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't want to play for that particular crowd of people. Due to your faith, or are you always open no matter what to any and every event?
So that's been a big conversation point for, I call the DJ business a brand because there's even DJs under me that we're teaching that are going to take these spots for me when I'm ready to just turn off the lights and call it a career. But originally, I was very strict about saying this is not how I'm going to build my brand, so that when I get to a point, I can have choices now. So I told you I did an Indian wedding. Well, early on in my career, I ducked weddings as much as I could because I didn't want to be a wedding DJ. Right. I ducked clubs as much as I could because I didn't want to be a club DJ. I wanted to be somebody that was very musically talented that happened to be a DJ. And so then once you get into that space, you can kind of pick and choose now where you want to be. So I could show up to the club now and they're going to let me in there, but everybody knows this is like a celebration, not
I'm just passing through
his thing. Exactly.
Do you feel like, so I want to ask, so
Good question.
Fire.
I feel like in general, fame is not natural, or just like that much attention for most people isn't natural. And you kind of see specifically like people that are in like faith-based situations where they have like this meteoric rise, and then you always see something bad happen because they get to a point where like the ills of the world or the temptations of the world overtake whatever because they were great intentioned people initially, but like I said, it's just a point in which what comes with a lot of stuff is just not natural. So do you feel like it's a point you want to get to where it's like, all right, I'm here, I don't need to get any bigger than this because I'm tired of having to tell people no, specifically these kind of people, or they in my DMs all the time, I don't want to slip up, I don't want to get out. It's just so much that can go on because you're in these positions that maybe it's not natural to be in because of your fame.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like one, an artist I really look up to, KB, he just talked about this the other day on his podcast about how unnatural it is to get fame and to constantly be validated, whether it be social media or when you go out. And he was talking about like what it means to protect yourself from that. And it's kind of weird, like being recognized, because people will see social media, they'll say, oh, he's only got a few thousand followers, so he can't be famous. But then you like look into it and it's like those people like would do anything to be in a room with you. And they follow everything you do. Anytime you put a shirt out, they're the first ones buying it. Anytime you make a new edit, they're downloading it, listening and saving it. And so it's actually, even at a small scale, very unnatural. Yeah. Very, very unnatural. And I just tell people, make sure you have an accountability group around you to keep you level-headed. Like my boy Sam, he'll let me know when what I do is trash.
You're wilding.
Like, that's trash.
Relax.
Like,
he
says that to me every day. He'll be like, chill out. That's his thing. Chill out.
Because we joke about on the show a lot. We had about 3 episodes in a row about John Gray. Because it's just funny. But John Gray didn't go out on a plot to eventually ruin his life. He wanted to preach the gospel, and it just kind of became too much. Yeah. So like I don't know. I feel like that's always a mindset I think about. Like I don't ever need to be famous, not because I don't think I can handle it. It's just it's a lot. It's an unnecessary burden.
I agree. And then too, like even when we're talking about people in the faith space, they kind of get this arrogance that because they have earthly tangible fame that they're now more righteous or better than somebody, or they got money now, so they bigger than the scene.
Sure.
Touched by an angel.
God complex, man.
Yeah, but you still the same dude. You
Still gotta take your boo boo at night.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's not changing.
for sure. That White Castle is gonna make you go.
Yeah, White Castle gonna get you.
Taco Bell's gonna run through
Yeah,
you.
it's gonna get you.
You're not
matter
bigger
what
than
you
that.
do.
You're not bigger
How
than
much
the
money
four
you got?
sliders.
Them sliders gonna get you.
You're not bigger than chicken tenders.
Call them sliders for a reason.
Yeah,
Slip and slide getting loose.
Right.
for sure.
Take it to the house.
Don't punch the phone.
Yeah, it's going down regardless, player. No matter how much money you got.
That just doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
So I want to get into the craft. I actually saw a video on social media. You were actually with DJ Spacebun. Shout out DJ Spacebun.
Shout out Space Buns.
And you were going crazy. I'm like, damn, this dude's going nuts right now. How much attention what does practice look like for you throughout the week?
Sure. It's really interesting in the DJ space because DJs that can't scratch say it's useless to scratch. DJs that do cut and do all that stuff, they say DJs that can't really DJ. I'm somewhere in the middle. I just love the art and I love learning. And so shout out to Decademics and Metronome. Like these guys just took me under the wing and let me learn something I just was so infatuated with at a young age. Granted, I didn't get started till I was an adult, but that's all it really was. And then one time I had actually cracked the windshield on my car, and a Safe Light guy came to my place because they come to your house to do the service for you.
Flight repair.
Safe Light repair.
Exactly. And he was telling me about his love for music, and I said, "How often do you practice?" He's like, 4 hours a day. I said, dang, how much money you make off of playing the guitar? He's like, oh, I've never got paid $1 in my life.
His girls at the crib pissed off.
Yeah.
She mad.
She hates his
Here he
guts.
go again.
Here he goes again.
Sound like Tariq, man.
But like, you just think about it, like he just
Trying to be
loves it.
Jason Mraz, wasting our time.
Yeah.
He just loves it. And
Yes.
it's like, okay, I'm getting paid to do this, and I'm spending like 10 minutes every other week.
Got you.
And when I had that conversation, it just changed my entire career because his passion and obsession was contagious. And I don't even remember his name, and he'd probably never listen to this podcast just because he's on the other side of like culture, but he changed my life and he doesn't even know it.
Thanks, Safe
That's
Light,
crazy.
man.
Yeah. Shout out Safeline, man.
Yeah, for sure. Led to something nuts. Indeed.
You never know. It'll be a random person that'll inspire you.
Inspiration,
Yeah.
you never know where it's coming from.
How much $1 costs?
Yep. What does the Pinnacle Success look like for you, man? Moving forward, what does that look like for you and your team, Sam, everybody you mentioned? Where y'all headed?
To me, like one thing I love about, let's just even bring up like Nipsey Hussle, for example. He made sure all his people ate. So as he went up, they went up with him. And whether they knew the job or the role or the skill or what they had to do, he equipped them and prepared them to be a part of this team. And so for me, success means that all of my people can live on a full-time income because of what we're doing. You can take care of your wife, your kids, you can start a family, build a family, and you can make it because of the hard work that somebody else put in just a few years before you. That's what success feels like to me. Because, I mean, I could stop DJing tomorrow and know all my people are taken care of, and that's good enough for me.
That's
But,
real.
I mean, we got to get to that point first, though.
Right.
Got you. I want to talk about the Pacers, you know, just in general. How do you feel about the Pacers right now? You like the fact that we're getting younger?
Protect the bag.
Yeah, protect the bag at all costs. But, you know,
For sure.
brain.
Shout out to the front office.
So
for sure.
I think for me, like, one of the families that really inspired me was the Leonard family. So next time y'all in Gainbridge, if you look up in the rafters, Bobby Slick Leonard was the head coach for the Indiana Pacers back in the ABA days. Slick Leonard, yeah, for sure. That family and their just love for the franchise and the city and the fact that they're the reason why we still have an NBA team, that for me is what makes me support any move that the front office does. Like, to me, it's bigger than the players, it's bigger than the sponsorship. So we could trade players every year, but just to know the history and the richness of the franchise, that's what I support. And then to know that it's a part of the ecosystem, and that makes me just fall in love with it.
For sure.
Regardless. Yeah.
That was a phenomenal answer. Great. I don't even know.
Who you
I
want
have nothing else to say.
Who you want to
man.
place the draft?
Shout out. Yeah, come on.
So I'm actually spinning for their lottery party coming up on Tuesday, and I got to do
That's gonna be
lottery
fire.
parties. That's tough.
I got to do my homework because I don't even know who's out there.
Jabari Smith and Paulo Ranchero.
They drafting Chet Holmgren.
No, they're not.
We're not doing that.
No,
man.
they're not.
That was
They're not drafting Chet.
We're not doing that.
Is that the
I believe
Gonzaga
in the
guy?
Pacers front
Yeah.
office.
Okay, yeah, big tall dude.
yeah. You know who it is.
Chet got to get good somewhere else.
Fan base is gonna love
You
it.
gotta. I need a sure chance.
Woo! Homegrown Holmgren.
No,
I don't want
he's not
nobody else
growing
to hear
back.
that.
Chet not growing basketball here.
We grow basketball here, baby.
He's not. And honestly, don't do
Go.
that to us. Last few picks have been
Blue collar, gold swagger.
solid for sure.
Yeah.
It's heat, man.
One championship.
Shout out to the Pacers, man.
I tell you what, boy.
All it takes is one. You talking
20
shit for
years
us
ago.
about.
One
Hey,
title.
all you gotta do is win one, baby. Change your life. You see me out here shining.
Church fire. Wish it wasn't.
What
Fucking fire.
What advice do you have for anybody on the scene right now that's a DJ? You know, if there's one thing you want to say to him, what would you say to him?
I would say two things, actually. I posted this on my story the other day, and I took it down because I felt like I was talking too much. But I think the first thing is protect the brand at all costs. So whatever it is you do, look at yourself and look at your system as a brand and make sure the energy that you're putting out allows that brand to grow. I know sometimes people on social media, because they have a platform, they just say whatever they want. They voice all their opinions and they devalue the brand. And if you can protect that and cultivate that and build a team that allows that thing to flourish, it's going to change your life. So that's step number one. And then step number two is just the consistency piece of it. Yep. When I found out y'all been doing this for 7 years and y'all only missed like 2 Mondays.
Outside of COVID.
Yeah. But regardless, like
but he was in the belly of the whale for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we were terrified, man.
Oh my goodness.
Almost died. It was weird.
Yeah, it
Man,
was
well,
crazy.
thank you for being here.
That's patient zero.
It's Lazarus over
For
there.
sure.
But then to see even you went through that
Laz.
situation and now you're still here.
Bounce back.
That
I jumped
consistency.
back like 22.
Ooh, Escalade.
You got to be consistent with it, because I remember when people were telling me that I was a trash DJ, which I was, and they said, you're not allowed to scratch in my parties, which I was terrible at it. But at the end of the day, I knew that it was something I believed
going.
in.
Now they itching to have you at the party.
Itching.
Begging.
You can't hold it.
Hitting Sam's. Hitting Sam's
it's
line.
different out
Sam
here.
said,
We
you wouldn't
moving
believe.
differently
Blowing
now.
Sam's
just
line
said
You see the
down.
fitted?
Talk
You
about
see
can
the
we get
fitted?
nope?
Lots of notes.
Actually, this is what it
Sam
costs
said,
now.
Yeah,
It
blowing
used to cost
Sam's
that. It
line
don't cost that.
down.
They had so much to say when he first started. that
Email
little
on fire. Email on fire.
Look at me now.
That's what's up, man. Man, round of applause for DJ Iman coming through. We appreciate you, man. Where can everybody find the brand again? Make sure that we all good on that accord. Excuse me.
Yeah, so you can find me on any social at Iman, IMAN_Tucker, or you can find Believe Brand. Just type Believe Brand anywhere, and it's probably going to be the first thing that pops up.
Let's do it,
He said our
man.
SEOs are tight.
For sure.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Actually, that's my third piece of advice. Get your SEO tight, because social media is irrelevant. I'm telling you that right now.
Get your SEO tight, baby. Get them Googles together.
Get your Google
Yeah.
together, and it's going to change your life.
That's crazy, man. This was phenomenal.
Good time.
I appreciate it, man, for sure.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Anytime. Let's move on.
Next.
Yes, sir.